Okay, so in today's video, we are going to check out ICP's price chart and see what is going on there. But before that, I'm going to show you something very interesting that has been happening recently. And it does actually make me say, you know what, in ICP, we are still in terms of fundamentals on the right track and we are looking definitely bullish. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And this metric is total ICP burn tokens. And as you can see, this is just constantly increasing. However, this is not really the point of today's update. Sure, this number going up at a bit of a steady pace definitely can be considered as an optimistic sign, but like we talked about it before, it doesn't really matter. What you should pay attention to is the cycle's burn rate, and let's just do this. Okay, as you can see, this is kind of in a small uptrend and it can be a good sign, but overall I would like to suggest that maybe you should compare this metric to, for example, the previous couple of months, and when we were right in here back in October, November of 2024. You see, the cycle burn rates at the moment is higher than this period. However, what about the price? You see, in October, November of 2024, we were right in here. So the price was higher, the cycle burn rate was lower. And what does it mean? This means that the network has definitely grown, and we had from here to about the recent price action some real adoption, which is definitely an optimistic sign suggesting we are on the right direction in ICP. But even this is not the main point that I'm trying to make. No, I think you should pay full attention to this metric right in here, transaction per second. Why is that? Because not only in the last couple of days we have seen a significant uptick, but also the trend in the last 2 to 3 months has been constantly on the upside. Now, this in my books is a very good sign, because again, this is not about the last couple of days, because these can be just simple noises. However, you cannot disagree with the trend. This is a beautiful uptrend in transactions per second, indicating we are having, especially in the last 2 months, some real adoption in internet computer. And when you combine this with the fact that in the last 2 months we have been on, I would say, a relatively strong downtrend, you realize that transactions per second going up is not because of the hype around the price. This, in my books, is a very optimistic sign in ICP. And again, I'm gonna say it, as long as I'm not proven otherwise, I am going to remain absolutely bullish. So in terms of fundamentals, it seems like that we are doing great. What about the price action? Well, it depends whether you want to pay attention to the short-term price action or maybe what is happening in the midterm, because in the midterm overall we are extremely bullish in here. You see, I believe in this whole move on the downside, we had a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure down, indicating some sort of a low is in, and this is the beginning of a move up. Why is that? Let's go around here. You see, if you want to say we're going to have some sort of a bottom around this area, maybe temporary, maybe even a permanent low. Okay, off of the lowest low in this region, you need to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. And if you're able to find this thing, okay, you can say this is the beginning of some sort of a move up. This is the key. It's the beginning. Let's zoom in more and see what is happening in ICP. And as you can see, we are having a beautiful impulsive structure on the upside with all the subwaves to about this point. Followed by that, relative to this strong move up, I think we can all agree that this is a very slow and choppy move on the downside, which is a very important characteristic of a corrective movement, indicating after our move down is over, or hopefully it's over already, we are going to have another beautiful bull run in ICP, which and at just the bare minimum target is going to be taking the highest side in here about, let's say, $20.50, but I think we can absolutely go quite a bit higher than that. Now, you realize in here the risk to reward ratios are insanely good. Let's say you want to buy ICP right around the current area with an average purchase of about $4.50. What is your stop loss? Let's say you want to be pessimistic and you want to put your stop under the the lowest low down here about, let's say like $2.50. So you basically have a $2 stop loss. What's your target? Again, like we said it earlier, the bare minimum one, even if you want to say we're not going to have any kind of alt season at all, okay, the bare minimum target can be reaching to about the previous high, about $20, which means you are having basically about, I would say like a $14 target. And your risk to reward ratio in that case, which is, I would say, pretty much the most pessimistic scenario, 1 to 7, which is again absolutely fantastic, at least for me. I don't know about you guys. For me, ICP is a no-brainer, and that's why right around the current area, as we talked about it so many times, pretty much I would say in every single video, I have been buying ICP. I have been doing some dollar cost averaging in order to get my average purchase as low as possible. And I do believe after this move down is over, or again, maybe it's over already, we're gonna have another big move on the upside. Now, in the previous video specifically, I said because I want to pay attention more to what is happening just in this region, I opened a very small long position and my stop loss is under the lowest low down here. What happened to that? That position is still open and I am still optimistic in ICP because I do think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and followed by that, this can be a correction structure. Now, is there a chance that, for example, we get another move down and do something like this in order to take this low? Yes, absolutely, there is a chance, but even that is not going to invalidate my bullish possibility, because at that point, I'm just going to say, you know what, this is just an A, B, C zigzag, or maybe a WXY, possibly in form of a double zigzag, maybe even a WXY, a zigzag followed by a double zigzag, generally some sort of a corrective movement in here and not an impulse. And after it's over, I'm hoping that we get some more moves on the upside. And since again, my stop loss is under the lowest low down here, about, let's say, $4 area, okay, having one more move down and doing something like this is not really going to do a whole lot for me at all. So, you know, I'm always open to that possibility that says we're going to get another move down. But the general picture, I need you to remember, as long as I'm not proven otherwise, is going to be the same. And from my point of view, I think a likely target for the short-term move up, hopefully coming soon in internet computer, can be reaching to about this important gap, which I think it was in H4 time frame, and it was created as a result of this move down being a bit too fast, and it is between, let's say, 5.8 to about $6. And again, because from my point of view, gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled. Well, okay, makes sense to say in this move up in ICP, if we are going to get it, which I think we are, okay, a likely target is going to be reaching to about this region. And then I'm hoping at that point, we are going to do something like this. Let's just take this one. Okay, let's say like, this is a wave 1, correction for wave 2, big move up into wave 3, and I want to see a consolidation pattern above the higher band of this important support area from weekly and daily time frame at the same time, which is around, let's say, $5.7, and then another move on the upside into this wave 5. If we see this in ICP, that could be a very, very bullish sign, suggesting our move down is actually already over and the final low is already in. And also, if during this phase up, we manage to take the previous major pivot high, which is right in here about, let's say, $6.3, that could be yet another beautiful bullish sign, suggesting the trend in ICP has changed. So overall, in the short term, from a technical analysis point of view, I think we are having kind of an optimistic setup, indicating we're going to get a move up soon. And in terms of fundamentals, since the transaction per second metric has been in a decent uptrend in the last 2-3 months, and also in the last couple of days, we have seen a relatively significant spike. I would say, again, in terms of fundamentals, it seems like that we are also on the right track. That's why overall, I am going to stay bullish in ICP. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in internet computers price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.